What is up, you guys? It's Dom here from JoJo Productions, and today we are going to be talking about the Nikon D7200. Now, I have talked about the Nikon D7200, and I've done a lot of videos with this camera in the past, and I still think that this is just a fantastic camera going into 2020. So here it is. This is the Nikon D7200. This is pretty much my favorite camera. It does pretty much everything that I need it to. I have done a lot of video gigs. I've done a lot of photography with it. It just does whatever I need to do it, and it does it super, super well. But today I want to talk about a couple features that I still absolutely love about this camera. Now, when I'm doing video work, as you guys know, I love a flat picture profile. And this D7200 definitely has a really, really nice flat picture profile, clocking in around, 12 or 13 stops of dynamic range, which is pretty good for this kind of camera. As I've mentioned before, flat picture profiles just give you a lot of room in post for color grading, color correction. So how I get this really flat picture profile is you go into the video menu settings, you go to the picture styles, you hit flat, but then once you're into the flat part, you're gonna adjust it. You're gonna bring the contrast all the way down, sharpness all the way down, and saturation all the way down, and that is gonna give you the super flat picture profile that basically I use, and you guys have asked, countless times my flat picture profile settings. So there you go. That is basically my flat picture profile setting. Now, I absolutely love using a flat picture profile because it lets me get the look that I want instead of, setting it to like a standard picture profile and just having the camera decide my look. As the content creator and the one who's wanting to tell the story and give you guys what the story needs to feel like and the emotion of the story, the flat picture profile definitely helps you do that the best. Now, am I saying you can't do it inside a camera? You can, but once something like contrast is there, it's really hard to take it out of an image, whereas if it's not there, it's easier to add it back in post. So that is why I shoot the flat picture profile. The D7200 still feels good in my hand as far as build quality goes. It definitely fits my hand pretty nicely, and I actually have some pretty big hands, so yeah, as you can see, it definitely kind of just fits snugly in there. Pinky definitely is feeling a little tight in there, but when I'm like holding it like this, it definitely feels fine. When you have like a good lens on it, like this 17-50 f2.8, it just feels really, really well balanced. The body just feels great. And honestly, when I'm like working all day and holding it, it doesn't feel too heavy. It feels just fine, honestly. And with a smaller lens, it's even nicer because obviously it just takes away the weight. But with this kind of a setup with a 17-50, this is a pretty well balanced setup. So that is another fantastic thing about this body. So it just, it's not too big, it's not too small. It's kind of like perfect right in the middle between like a really nice full frame camera and maybe say like one of the 5000 series camera. It's just kind of in between there. And I just super like it. I think it feels great in the hands, and it doesn't bug me or anything. It's just super nice. It just lets me get my works done. Let's move on to low light performance. Now, you might think from a crop sensor camera that the low light performance, especially from a camera being released in like 2015, you would think that the low light performance from this isn't too great. Well, I definitely have to disagree, especially in the still side. For being a crop sensor camera, it actually does pretty darn good. I can shoot up to like 3200, no problems. Even if there is a little bit of grain in the image, I can add contrast and I can just crush those blacks, and pretty much all the grain is out of the image, and it looks really, really nice. As far as video goes, this does pretty darn well in video too. Same thing when I'm shooting a flat picture profile with it though. Before it is graded, you can definitely see the noise, but after you add on a grade, again, it kind of crushes those blacks and it hides all that noise. And 1600 ISO is actually looking pretty good, honestly. I can definitely shoot 1600 ISO comfortably. So another thing that we love about this D7200 is just all like the button placements. I know that's like something that not a lot of people talk about, but button placements I feel like is just a huge thing with the DSLR. Because I know that when I'm working, I don't want to be like fumbling for all my buttons and missing shots. It's just really nice to be able to just know where everything is. And that might also have to do with the fact that I've been shooting this camera for like, oh shoot, I don't know, 3.5 years now. And I just know where all of it is, but it's also just not like a super cluttered, you know, camera. It's not like full of buttons like some other cameras that I've used before. And everything just feels right. So yeah, I don't know, button placement is just one of those little things that I feel like a lot of people overlook, but it is like super important because again, you don't want to be like fumbling around all the time with the settings and stuff. It definitely takes you out of the moment when you're shooting. So that is something huge. And another really cool thing about it is a lot of these buttons are customizable. When I'm in stills mode, I have the record button as my ISO button and just a bunch of other custom little settings that I've set up for this camera. So super customizable. That is super, super nice. So another thing for the video shooters is basically these side ports right here. These things are super, super nice. Now, what is on these side port is there is an HDMI here and it is an uncompressed HDMI. So it gives you even better quality that's already coming out of this thing. We do have a headphone jack for monitoring your audio, which is super, super important. And then we also have a mic jack. So you can obviously add on a friggin' microphone and get better audio. Another little overlooked thing, but seems to be like a huge thing nowadays, is dual card slot. I absolutely love the dual card slot. There is times where I actually use it. For example, when I'm shooting a wedding or I'm shooting like a corporate commercial or even just like a short film or something that I don't want to lose. In case something does fail, it's really nice having it, but I've never actually had a card fail before. All right, and finally, why is this still my #1 recommended camera? It's because the images that come out of this are just absolutely amazing. Whether it's the stills or the video, it's just a phenomenal camera. I just absolutely love it. I've shot with some other cameras before, and this one, I don't know. I really like the emotion and the feel from the images that come out of this. When I'm shooting stills, everything just looks really, really good. And when I'm shooting video, everything just looks super cinematic for some reason. Whereas like with my Canon 7D, I don't know, I feel like it just felt too realistic. But with the D7200, I don't know, I'm not going for realistic most of the time. I wanna, you know, when I'm doing like a short film, I wanna shift everything over into kind of a, I don't know, make-believe world. And I feel like this camera just really, really does that. I don't know if it has to do with like the colors or something, or just how the image looks, but there's just, I don't know, there's just something about the camera that it just gives off a really, really nice image. So there you go, D7200, I think it still holds up pretty strong. I definitely recommend it. You know, you can buy a body nowadays for like $550, which is super nice for a camera like this. Like you don't see that too much anymore. So I would definitely recommend this in 2020. It is a just brilliant, brilliant camera. So there you guys go. That is why I love the D7200. If you have a D7200 and you love it, and there was a reason why you love it that I didn't mention, please leave those in the comment section below. That would be great. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get to those. And until next time, we will see you guys next time. Bye.